Hi boys and girls, welcome back to Mr. Brakefield Reads. It is Sunday and this weekend is quite a big weekend because lots of things are starting to open that have not been open for quite some time. And the most exciting thing for me has to be the hairdressers, because it feels like an absolute eternity since I had my hair cut. And feeling my hair now, running my hands through it, it feels so thick, it feels long at the back, and it's getting on my nerves. Now, I also know that lots of other people are in exactly the same situation too, and I've still got just over a week to wait for my hair appointment, but I'm very lucky to have got it just before the holidays, so that will be good. Another thing that's quite exciting is that playgrounds are now open, so I know you guys will be quite excited about that too, I'm sure, especially if you live close to a park or a playground. But it just means that my two boys can go and run off some steam, perhaps in the playgrounds. But I think we'll wait just a few days before going, just so that it's not too busy. But anyway, we're getting straight back into our book now. And if you remember in the last chapter, Magda, Bella's best frenemy, was getting Bella into a lot of trouble. Just a few things that had happened that Magda had done that she was then blaming on Bella, or trying to make out that Bella had done it. And Bella wasn't particularly pleased about that. She was a bit annoyed by it, and she's starting to see Magda in a different light, perhaps. So the next chapter is thinking it over. When Babcha and Magda left, Mum had a great deal to say about too many biscuits, broken tea sets, cracked favourite jugs, climbing up chimneys, and sooty living rooms, all of which, for some reason, she seemed to think was Bella's fault. Bella tried to explain, but Mum refused to listen. "You have to take your share of the responsibility," she said sternly. "Now go to your room and reflect on your actions." Mum always spoke in long words when she was cross. Bella went upstairs and lay down on her bed and did as she was told. But, try as hard as she could, the more she reflected, the less she understood how her actions had led to the chain of events. It was a mystery. It seemed to her that it was Magda who'd caused the trouble, but she who'd got the blame. That wasn't fair, was it? Above her head came a soft, fluttering noise, and Bella sat bolt upright. Oh no, the ghost was back. "Mum!" she said automatically. Then Bella thought that, at this precise moment, the ghost was probably less scary than her mum, so she decided to cover her ears and sing loudly to drown out the noise. 6 songs later, it had stopped. Bella got up and knelt down by her bedroom window to take her mind off what might be up there in the attic. In next door's garden, Magda was practicing her cartwheels. She was very good at them. Magda looked up and spotted Bella watching her. She waved, and Bella waved back. Magda put her fingers into the corners of her mouth and waggled her tongue. Bella giggled and pulled a funny face back. There they are. Oh. Magda hung her arms down to the ground and leapt around the garden, whooping and pretending to be a monkey. Bella laughed out loud and did the same thing around her bedroom, even though Magda couldn't see her. Then Bella waggled her ears at Magda, and Magda waggled her plaits back at Bella. They kept on playing, taking it in turns to do silly things and copying each other until Mum called Bella down for lunch. "Can I play with Magda this afternoon?" asked Bella, through a mouthful of baked beans. She was so much fun. She'd forgotten she'd ever been cross with her. "No," said Mum. "Tomorrow?" said Bella hopefully. "We'll see," said Mum. Bella sighed. "We'll see" was Mum speak for don't ask again and hopefully you'll forget all about it. She wouldn't forget though. She wanted Magda to teach her how to do proper cartwheels and handstands. It was nice having a best friend next door. Nothing to do. To Bella's disappointment, the next morning it was pouring with rain. After breakfast, Bella and Sid knelt on the window seat and traced the raindrops streaking down the window pane, first with their fingers, then with their noses. Then Sid got silly and did it with his tongue, and Mum asked Bella to read him a book. Bella read Sid's favourite story, over and over again. Then she asked if they could go up to the attic to look for the ghost, but Mum said no. She was too busy, and there wasn't one. Bella and Sid watched television. Lots. Mum and Dad seemed to have forgotten all about them. Bella discovered an interesting fact. The longer you watch television, the harder it is to sit upright. When Mum walked in to see what they were up to, Bella was slumped sideways, and Sid was sprawled across her on the sofa. Mum switched the television off. "That's enough. You'll get square eyes," she said, which was not true because Great-Grandma, who was very old, watched television all day long and her eyes were still round. But Bella had discovered another interesting fact. Watching too much television was like eating too much food. You get sick of it in the end. "Go and sort your bedrooms out," said Mum. "Bella, you need to unpack." Sid scampered upstairs and Bella tore up behind him. When she went into her bedroom, she paused to listen for the ghost, but all she could hear was the sound of the rain pattering on the roof. First she made her bed, then she started to hang her clothes up. It was quite tricky, because they kept sliding off the hangers, so Bella turned her attention to a big box of books instead. She loved reading. She had more books than anyone else she knew. Bella decided to arrange them by author alphabetically, like they did in the library. That way, she would always be able to lay her hands quickly on the one that she wanted. Her books were better behaved than her clothes. Bella, who liked arranging things neatly, hummed to herself as she filled her bookcase and the shelves beside her bed with books in the right order. It took a long time, but it was well worth it. Bella put the last book in place and sighed happily. That was a job well done. Now all she had to do was to finish hanging her clothes up properly, and then Mum would be really pleased with her. Rat-a-tat-tat. Someone was at the front door. Many hands. Bella looked out of the window. It was Magda. Bella raced downstairs and flung open the door. "Coming out to play?" asked Magda, looking a bit damp. "It's raining." "Oh, yes. I'd better come in then," Magda said, and stepped inside the house. "Who's that?" asked Mum, poking her head round the kitchen door. "Oh, it's you, Magda. Bella's busy tidying her bedroom." "Can I help?" asked Magda. "I'm good at tidying." Mum hesitated, and then she smiled. "That's very kind of you, Magda. You'd better tell your grandma where you are, though." "She already knows," said Magda. "Come on, Bella." She led the way upstairs. "Wow," she said, when she walked into Bella's bedroom. "This is so neat and tidy." Bella was pleased. "I know. I just put all my books into alphabetical order." "That's boring," said Magda, bouncing up and down happily on Bella's newly made bed. "Everyone does that. Why don't you sort them in a different way?" "How?" asked Bella, puzzled. "Put them face out. That's what I do. Then you can see the covers." "Watch me do a handstand." Magda put her head on Bella's pillow and flung her legs up, crashing into the shelf above where Bella kept her special things. Somehow Bella managed to catch her tiny house made of seashells, and luckily the glass clown Grandma had brought her back from Italy fell safely onto the bed. But her garden in a shoebox, which won second prize in the spring show, went flying, scattering soil and plants everywhere, and so did her jewellery box and all its contents. "Sorry," said Magda. "Quick, let's clean it up before Mum sees it," said Bella in alarm. "No, let's organise your books first," said Magda, and she began to grab them off the shelf. Very soon the bookcase and shelves were full, but there were still lots of books left over. Oh goodness! There's the sight. There's the sight in her in Bella's bedroom. After Bella had got that looking so neat and tidy. "That didn't work," said Bella. "They take up too much room that way." "It's your fault," explained Magda. "You've got too many books. Tell you what, I'll take these home with me." She started picking up the rest of the books. "No," said Bella quickly, snatching them back. "Let's arrange them a different way. How about size?" "Oh," said Magda, disappointed. "That's boring too." Then she brightened up. I know. We could colour code them. Put all the blues together and all the pinks and so on. That would be really cool. I don't know, said Bella doubtfully. It sounded like a good suggestion, but she was beginning to learn that when Magda lent a hand, things did not always go according to plan. But it was too late. Magda was already sweeping the books onto the bedroom floor. Don't worry, I'll help you. So will I, said Sid, appearing from nowhere. Hello, Magda. Wow, this Magda seems quite annoying, doesn't she? So every time she's round, she seems to get Bella somehow into bother. So I really can now see why it says on the front, Bella's got a new best frenemy. I wonder if you've ever had a friend quite like that. And I do wonder if Bella can maybe change her a little bit, make her see that, make Magda see that she's not being very kind. Anyway, right, we're going to have to wait until Wednesday for the next chapter. But before then, as I always say, make sure you have plenty of fun with the home learning that you're doing, and happy reading. Goodbye, boys and girls.